it's the time, it's here. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream.
Hello.
Dad's here, tired. That's all I'm gonna say. Stream's gonna be, normal, it's just that tired. I couldn't even think of the intro. What are you gasping about? He's watching a live singing is what it looks like.
You saw what he looked like before.
Yes.
Now look at him.
Yeah, his hair's gone.
Gone.
It's Don't You Want Me by the Human League, and apparently the first time this dude sang it, he had a lot of hair. And at least in 2024, so last year, in November, he's fully shaved. Hair gone.
He looks wildly different. Okay, sorry. Carry on. I'm sorry. That just took me back just a little bit.
He was completely shocked. He was over here like mouth agape. He's like, what?
Yep.
It was kind of funny to see. But yeah, so a little disclosure. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule, and so I have done the perhaps ill-advised thing, and I've brute forced it. So I have been awake for a very long time. I took a little nap before stream because I literally could not keep my eyes open. But that was only that was a tiny little nap, and certainly not sufficient.
It was an hour. Yeah.
It was about an hour. Yeah. So yeah. If things seem particularly unhinged or disorganized or anything along those lines, I have only slept an hour within the past 24 and change. So yay. Yippee! Wahoo! But we're doing it. We're gonna. Boy howdy, we're doing it. Yep. So it's gonna be, more of the same. We're gonna be resource gathering. Vibing, hanging out, chilling, as they might say. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of more of what was going on last stream. I don't think I'm gonna be focusing on mining as much today, though, I will say, because I know last stream was a lot of mining. So I'm hoping to focus more on exploration, especially in the plains, because we need more black metal. And eventually I'm gonna need to go get more silver. I'm not doing it just yet. If we find mountains, I might, but at least for now, that is not in the cards. I gotta go see the chickens after this, and then we can get started. What if I just kind of keep it perpetually like this? I need to have I've got 3 little modes for this guy. Maybe I just need to have a sleepy one. I mean, I guess this one could be sleepy. It's meant to be frustrated, but I don't really use it for its intended purpose. I always forget. So maybe this could just be the stand-in for sleepy right now. Because, whoa.
Okay, so what are the other?
We'll say, okay, so we got normal, we have fear, and we have this.
Okay, so the fear one is with the red, right?
The fear one is the jumpy all over the place and sweat coming off of the...
Okay.
I'm looking at the stream. It hasn't gone up yet.
Okay, yeah, so I've seen, the sweat one before, and then this one is supposed to be angry.
It's, or annoyance, something along those lines.
It just looks like you're sleeping. You're snoring.
Yeah, it looks Eeby.
Yeah, because the little meme or whatever it is, that whatever for emoticon thing. Dang it, I sound like an idiot, but you know what I'm saying. The little no, it is called an emote. That one.
What one?
Let's see if it'll allow me.
Are you gonna show me?
So, yeah. The one with the red.
Oh, yeah, that's Angie. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, next to the cow.
No, that one is definitely more upset. No, I need I need an actual sleepy one, I think. Or at least it would be very useful to have today. Alas, I do not have it. Oh, jeez, I almost tried to punch a chicken. Not that it would have helped. Come here. I just killed a dog through the wall.
No.
I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was. I really hope that was not a named one.
You'll have to go check it out.
Okay, I got wolf, wolf. Okay, I got Bjorgen over here. Another wolf. 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 Togo, Dorgan. Wolf. So we have Dorgan, Bjorgen, and Togo. And I know, okay, so yes, that means that was just a nameless one. Good. Because Bark Spawn is still with Angie. So we got lucky, that was an unnamed one. That could have been, I would have changed the world to bring the dog back if it was a named one. But no, all of our named fellas are safe. That is good. I will simply need to be more careful with that knife in the future. Because eek. I had suspicions, I had fears. So good to know that I can in fact do that. Okay, so now we have a lot of feathers. Pelt.
Yeah, that's a tactic that you've used while fighting bosses is, defeating them while they're hung up on something, or like the skellies in the caves, where they're stuck behind the door.
Yeah, that's true.
So you've done that intentionally, so now it's happened unintentionally, but here it is.
Indeed. Well, it's a good thing that it ended up being alright.
Yep, agreed.
Alright, now I believe we're still at the pit. No, we're not. I did move. And did I complete this? I did. Alright. I'm gonna kind of explore the edges over here. And then I can walk right back over to the plains. Hello, berries. Many berries. That's a berry zone. Where's the Z button? There we go. Couldn't find it for a second. Ah, this is gonna go well. I'm driving impaired. They say that driving tired is equivalent to driving drunk.
Yeah, actually it can be.
I feel it. I definitely feel impaired. Give me that. Get out of here. Hopefully nothing too big this way comes. Hopefully it'll be fine. Get out of here. Oh, hey, fueling village. That is definitely what I wanted to see. Ouch. It's not facing the right way. Okay. Yes. That might have sounded facetious, but I meant it. We're looking for some black metal today. And I think this time we can even stick around and destroy the village. Because, I mean, we're gonna be chilling, hanging out anyway, so. Okay. Anything that I can just pick off? Not that I can see at the moment. someone over there, but... Oh, I did get one! I killed him! Here, before I get too far, I think I'm gonna mark this on the map.
Yeah, I heard the chuckles.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're certainly... Hello. Kinda like looking for big ones. See if I can poke them from here.
It almost reminds me of the old Popeye laugh. I mean, it doesn't, but it does. It's just...
It walks right there.
That one's just completely oblivious to you. You're
Right.
like you just made two of his buddies just turn into goo right in front of him, and he just walks on like, okay, whatever.
Come on! Oh.
Oof.
Yeah, one of them is a 1-star. Oh shit. 2 of them are 1-stars.
Yeah, well, now that you have bone mass active, this is going to go completely different than what they had in mind.
Right.
Aren't you glad you just buffed everybody there?
Right?
Because look at all of your reinforcements.
Uh-huh. Those, man, those are some reinforcements right there.
All those puddles of goo on the ground all went at the same time.
Right.
They're super invigorated and inspired. Yeah, just piss them off when we're in camp.
Right? Oh, man.
No, really, just... I was not saying that sarcastically. Either that or make a saddle.
No, I have to tame them for the saddle
Yeah, I
work.
know. Which is unfortunate. I don't remember seeing a stone well as part of their campsite before.
Yeah, they do that sometimes. Actually, I think they do it a lot. Come on.
Yeah, it's the... I am so mad. Wait, what am I mad at? Where am I going? Why am I mad? I'm so mad. Oh, now I can see you. Now I know who I'm mad at.
Nice.
She's very effective. Lock's very effective against building.
Indeed. Oh,
You still have a third Lox over there.
indeed I do. I see. Plenty of stuff that I'll need to pick up. Trying to lead my shot and it's not working. Where are you going? Get over here. Dude. bubblies. Can't quite work out. Okay. I'm glad I marked the portal on the map, because I would not have remembered. Let's go ahead and bring this into the camp, now that it's been cleared. Hey, give me a second, man. I'll be right with you. Have some patience.
Dude, okay, in a minute.
I see. All right.
There you go, Death Skeeto.
Thank you for waiting so patiently. Alright, but it is getting dark. I just can't tell how dark. Ugh. I would say, pretty dark. Let's go ahead and bring this in. We have, we'll just add that there. All of the fire. Hanging around all these places. Oh man. You know what sounds great right now? Nap. Sleep.
Sleepies, she says.
I'm feeling just a little Eeby. An Eeby and neeby to sleeby, as they say. But I am persisting. I did this to myself. It's not like I worked really hard and whatnot. No, it's I'm just trying to fix my sleep schedule. Oh, but at the cost of being so Eeby. But you know what? Hopefully, this means that I will go to bed at a more reasonable time than I have been, and then wake up at a more reasonable time than I have been.
You know, I understand the thought process. I just know that my body
Your body doesn't work that way?
does not cooperate with that thought process.
Does not adhere.
No. It's like, you want to do what? Oh yeah, by the way, in 45 minutes, I'll see ya.
Yeah. It's like, what? What do you mean?
Oh, and 30 minutes after that, I'll see you again. I'll give you an hour this time. Oh, and your alarm's going off at 7:30? I'll wake you up at 7:24. No.
See, that way you don't need to use your alarm.
Right?
Look at me being so helpful. Like, no, I could have slept those extra minutes. How could you do this? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm being helpful.
Yeah, it's similar to the, what doing? I help.
When I help. Oh boy. We're only 20 minutes in.
And struggling.
A little bit. We got it though. We got it. There's no falling asleep at the wheel over here, but I feel it.
Well, I did end up acquiring more of the ginger beer and root beer that is available for your consumption.
Cool.
There is more of the caramel macchiato latte available. And there's, which I'll have to make that for you. And same thing with the hot chocolate stuff is also available.
I actually think I have the latte. I think I made one of those. I think that's what this is. I just didn't want plain coffee. It's the one I had the other day.
Then yeah, that's caramel macchiato latte. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Get me the one.
Well, there you go.
I also had, I gotta say, too, to just go on record, I'm not really an energy drinker. I don't tend to go for that, especially since I've got kind of a sensitivity to caffeine. So even a little bit of caffeine, I gotta be careful, or else I'll just, my heart rate will spike and it will not be a fun experience for me. But I actually drank a Red Bull today. Because I was like, hey, this might help me stay awake. And, to give it credit, it did. But it was like I had to sip it every few minutes. Just for the status effect to maintain, But I think that really more goes to show how tired I am.
You're actually
willing to drink an energy drink, and two, that it didn't help as much as I had hoped.
Yeah, I found with the little containers that you get at the convenience store, the 5-hour energy shots or whatever it was. I tried one of those. Several years ago, I was doing a marathon drive cross country, and so I grabbed a couple, just so I could continue driving and not have to stop. I was going to drive straight through, and it was one of those 16, 18 hour road hour trips after a full day's worth of work. So I worked all day, and then 10-hour shift kind of a deal, and then hop in the vehicle and I was going to drive for 16 additional hours. And so I figured, I'll try one of these, just to stay awake and what have you. And I found out that they don't give me energy. I was just as tired on it as before I drank it. Now, my heart rate, on the other hand, just through the roof, dum, 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 just racing, absolutely racing. And I had to pee really bad. That was the effect. That's what kept me awake, was having to go to the bathroom. And the fact that I felt that my heart was going to burst out of my chest. So that's kind of how caffeine, I guess, affects you, where caffeine doesn't affect me that way. But it was the overdose of B12 that they put in that particular brand of the energy drink, whatever, the 5-hour energy shot thing. That particular one, that's just how my body responded to it. So it's like, you know what, if I need to stay awake, you're just gonna have to brute force it. You can continue drinking your Mountain Dew, continue drinking your coffee, all that kind of stuff, but yeah, the energy drinks, that was just not a thing for me. So when the true energy drinks came out, that are like popular now, I really had no interest in them. It's like, because I've done the small little energy shot thing, and felt the effects of that. No, I don't want to have a big 20-ouncer of that, and why would I do that to myself? That's just whatever.
That's fair.
But that's how my body responded to it. Doesn't mean that's how everybody's body responds to it. That's just me.
Right. Yeah, and the maybe my body's just weird too, that it wasn't as effective. But like I said, I needed to constantly be sipping on it, or else it really wouldn't do anything for me. I would just sit there and be tired. Well, feel my heart rate increase.
Right, it may be that actually it was the sugar in it that was keeping you more awake than the other ingredients. Because
actually, it was sugar-free.
Really? Red Bull is sugar-free?
That particular one was.
Okay.
It tasted okay. I mean, I'm not a fan of the fake taste. The false additive.
Right, the replacement for the sugar.
Yeah, not a fan of it. But I mean, otherwise the flavor was all right.
fair enough. Well, and you know, some of them are flavored, and others are kind of a hey, that's not the point. The point is to you know wake you up. So we're not going to put anything in to make it taste better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of the early ones, that especially, that's how they started off. It was just oh, you need B12? Here you go. Here's a crap ton of B12. No, we're not gonna put you know flavored sugar with it to make it taste better. If you want the B12, there you go. Oh, and you want B6? Guess what? That's gonna taste like B6.
They weren't lying. It sure can be 6.
Yep. Yeah, that's not avocado. That's just what B6 tastes like.
Avocado.
Yeah, just you know, it's like picking up flavor.
Oh, okay. I was like, does it taste like avocado?
No. But pick random flavor here. You know, or I could have said banana. I could have said raisins. You know, but whatever.
That reminds me of an energy drink that I know of.
Avocado, bananas, and raisins.
Oh, that too. No, no. There is an energy drink. It's by Gamer Subs. They regularly partner with content creators to like make different flavors, and you know use this code at checkout, and you know they get a bit of the commission, right? So one of them that I know of that has an avocado flavor apparently is called Guacamole Gamer Fart.
Okay then.
Yep. They just went with a silly name.
Okay then.
And apparently it's very popular. So, you know.
Well, you know, so guacamole for me, it's okay. Like I kind of like the creamy texture every once in a while, but I'm not a huge fan of avocado flavoring. I'm just not. I'd much rather have regular salsa.
See, and I'm not a fan of the way that it makes my throat close up.
Yeah, you have an allergy to it. So your response is a little bit different. But they actually had. I saw one at the store the other day that I was like, that actually looks interesting to me. It was a spicy avocado. That I was like that. I'm actually interested in it. Now I can't have it, but yeah, it's just intrigued me. And then I saw the salsa, and I'm like, okay, never mind, forget that stuff. There's salsa. You know, my mouth started watering. Even talk about it now, my mouth is watering.
My mouth is watering too, actually. Yeah. Yeah, even before my allergy developed, because I didn't always have this allergy.
Yeah,
I used to be okay with avocado.
Correct. Well, we didn't have it very often.
Right, yeah.
So, but yeah, it was not a significant allergy at all until just a couple years ago.
Yeah, relatively recently, that it, sorry, I was looking down, I have my phone on the charger, and my leg, you know, bumped the cord and almost pulled my phone off. So I fixed that, and that's why I was running into the portal. But yeah, you know, I mean, like, the flavor was okay. It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't my least favorite. I wouldn't, like, avoid it or anything. It was just kind of you know, it's just not my thing. Now I kind of wish I'd taken advantage of all the opportunities to have it,
right.
But of course, hindsight's 20/20. I had no idea that it was going to blossom into this terrible thing.
Right.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, yeah, it's like it's kind of the same thing as, like, matcha, where it tastes planty. You know? You bite into it and you go, yup, that came from a plant. It's got kind of that distinct flavor. At least that's how I feel. Now it's a ticking time bomb in my sushis. And they hide. And sometimes people won't even say they have avocado in their sushi. Some of them don't say that. I don't feel the need. Like, excuse you, some people, like, you know, for example, me, are allergic. You need to be telling people. That's one of my, one of the things I get upset about. That's the thing that gets my blood boiling. it's like that, and I'm allergic to chestnuts as well, and it's actually like.
Yeah, they're related.
Well, yeah, yes, but it's a very similar reaction. I would argue that it's as intense as the avocado allergy. Like full-blown throat closing up and temperature rising.
Yeah,
and,
the anaphylaxis, yeah.
Yeah. I learned that one the hard way. But, because I didn't even know I had that allergy. But, okay, what am I gonna do here? Because this is an extra. I can start bringing the bones. Yeah, I'll start grabbing the bones. But, yeah, so, chocolates that say that, like, yeah, you know, this is made in a factory that handles, you know, other tree nuts, and they're very vague with just tree nuts. They don't specify what tree nuts. So it could be that they handle chestnuts. And if they do, I will react. But a lot of them do not come out and say chestnut. They just say tree nut.
Right.
So it's a gamble. It's a roll of the dice every time.
Well, in all fairness, they end up dealing with so many tree nuts that in the different types, they may not know all the different types, and two, you know, by making a kind of a blanket statement of, excuse me, you know, we do handle tree nuts there, they don't have to use up all of their labeling space by specifying all the different tree nuts that they handle.
No, I think I'm still gonna demand that they specify that.
And I understand what you're saying, but from a practical point of view,
Yeah,
if you
I know
deal
where you're
with
coming
30
from.
different types of tree nuts, they're not going to use all of their space
On the, yeah, I know.
with doing that. I mean, they're just not.
It's just me personally. I kind of wish that they were a little more transparent. Or at least, if they're not going to have it on the label, have it on the website.
Right, where they don't have a space constraint.
Yes, if you're not going to have it on a label, put it on the website.
Yeah, so you say that, you know, this place that does, you know, they have that blanket statement of, you know, processing tree nuts. For more specific information, go to www, blah, 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 you know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's acceptable. An acceptable alternative to me just gambling. Gambling with my EpiPen.
Right? It's like, well, chestnuts are a no, hazelnuts are an
No,
occasional.
hazelnuts okay. No, hazelnuts are okay. I'm not a problem with
You know,
those.
and you know, peanuts, yes. Hazelnuts,
Why do you keep going for hazelnuts? Hazelnuts
Well,
are fine. They don't affect me.
Okay. But chestnuts, nope, that's a no.
Yeah, it's a hard no.
It's a hard no. So it's like pecans and walnuts and all that other stuff. Yeah, you know, whatever. But there are a few specifics that you've got to be like, I'm out, or I'm going to be out.
Yeah, I'm out or I'm out. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift, if you understand the implication. So yeah, it's like, especially the avocado one is the one that really makes me mad. Because it's like, you can tell when there's avocado in it, so why not tell me that there's avocado in it?
Yeah, that's not an accidental ingredient.
Yeah, no, it's not an, oops, there's avocado in here. It's like, come on, that's one of your, like, write it down, put it in there. But yeah, it's so annoying. I got caught by that one time with surprise avocado.
Oh yeah.
Because it did.
Yeah, you were visiting me one time.
Yes,
Yep.
it didn't show up on the label. I was really excited. I even inspected it visually.
Yep.
Did not see avocado. Was very excited. And then
Can I divulge where?
yeah.
Go ahead and divulge where you were.
It was essentially a college cafeteria situation.
No.
It's a college. It's a university.
Also a college, yes.
Yeah, but it's a hospital.
Yeah, it was a hospital cafeteria. their personal, cafeteria area that they had sushi in.
You would think that especially a hospital would disclose
Yeah.
allergens.
Yeah, when they're like, hey, if you had food allergies, let us know, blah, 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 blah. Oh, by the way, we're not going to divulge all the ingredients in our food.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
how, what?
That
Yeah.
made me so upset.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the room, and, I'm happily chewing on my sushi, and then I taste something familiar.
Uh-huh.
And I look, and it's like both of the end pieces don't have avocado, but you flip it around to the other side, and there's just a sliver on the inside that was not visible.
Yep.
I was like, oh, come on!
Yep. Yes, you visually couldn't see it until you opened the package and were halfway through. And that's just the way that it was. So it's not like, and it's not that.
Not even halfway through. No, it was on the other side of the first piece. It was just not visible.
Yeah, it wasn't visible from the outside of the roll, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so it's not like they were like, oh, we've got to hide this. I mean, there was nothing malevolent or they weren't intentionally hiding it, but it was a, hey, you have to put what your ingredients are.
Yeah, if you have an allergen, you gotta specify that.
Well, and technically anything can be an allergen, and that's why there are the rules in place for the, divulging what your ingredients are, regardless of what the ingredients are. I mean, there's some things that are considered like trade secrets. Like, you don't have to say, hey, Heinz 57 is supposed to have 57, herbs and spices in it, and they have to say what some of them are, but they don't have to say, hey, it's, one part this, 7 parts that, 16 parts this. You don't have to get that specific. But if it's, hey, we use peanuts in here, you have to divulge that.
You've gotta say that.
Right.
Yeah. You could kill someone.
Right. But you don't have to say, well, yeah. Black pepper, we use 1 tablespoon per gallon.
Right, yeah. You don't have to give them your whole recipe or anything.
Right.
Just the important bits.
Correct. So the ingredients, yes. The proportions, no. But of course, there's a specific. There are limits where they're like, hey, if it's below this amount, you don't even have to say it. Because it gets considered a trace amount. You don't have to consider it.
Yeah, and inconsequential.
Right. But most of these are not inconsequential.
How did we even get to this? How did we get to allergy stuff? We were talking about avocados.
Yeah.
And how did we even get to avocados?
I can't even tell you. I think we're talking energy drinks and how we're
Oh yeah,
responding to
because
it.
you kind of pulled an ingredient out of the, well, not an
Oh
ingredient,
yeah, because I said
flavor.
avocado for B6.
Yeah, you pulled a flavor off the top of your head, and then it turned into this.
Yeah, because I said avocado, and you're like, B6 tastes like avocado?
It's like, not necessarily. On this. I don't have much of this left. I gotta say, the cappuccino mix is not helping as much as the Red Bull did. I'll give Red Bull that. But I don't know if this cappuccino mix, I don't think it's a mix, so I don't know how much caffeine it's supposed to have. I don't know. All I know is it's really not doing much for me. The thing that I am using it for, it's not doing a great job of doing, so But I mean, if I get, I don't think I need real coffee right now, because I won't finish it by the time I go to bed. So I'll be like, oh yeah, I can start trying to sip on it, and I'll have it, tomorrow morning. It'll still be there tomorrow morning. Because I have to, caffeine things, I have to drink them slow. Soda is fine. Soda, I actually don't, I'm not that caffeine sensitive. I'm not affected by soda. But I am affected by energy drinks and coffee. Which, energy drinks, they, at least the one that I saw on the label, it was like, hey, this isn't meant for someone that's caffeine sensitive. I was like, well, I am already making bad decisions today. like I say, you know, I sipped it. I didn't chug, of course. That would be a very bad idea. So I was trying to be smart about it, while also, you know, attempting to reap the benefits. Because boy, tired.
Yep. I understand.
Well, you're right there with me.
How many times have I done the drive across the country stuff for vacations?
Yes, this is true, but I'm talking like you're dealing with that right now too.
Well, yeah, I'm dealing with that right now just because of some other stuff, but yeah, the insomnia is part of it. Yeah.
Why does insomnia have to exist?
Because it do.
Because it do. Okay, cool. It was the last of the fire. Last of the fire. Last of the... You know what I'm talking about. Last of the wood. Place that there. I wonder if I can... No, I won't be able to reach that from here. Upgrading the running skill! Yep. As long as I keep talking and keep busy, should be fine. You know what I mean? Distract from the fact that I'm tired.
I hear your words.
Uh-huh.
I also know better.
What? Hey, it's worked so far. I was playing a lot of, actually I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals recently. So I did a lot of that, and that helped keep me awake, keep me alert, and busy.
You will reach a point where even that won't help. You'll just start micro-sleeping and not even know it.
I didn't get there, so that's good. So that was helping, and then I also played some Helldivers with some friends. And that was nice. I was originally running around by myself in there, which is, if you can believe it, incredibly stress-inducing. I am definitely happier with a team than I am doing it by myself. I tend to do, I'll follow whatever, like, difficulty the team is on, but if I'm playing by myself, I'm on, like, level 2. So I just want to chill out and have fun.
Easy to normal.
Yeah, easy. Well, it's easy. Just straight up, it's easy. There are, like, especially, there are these, why is this not registering as a mountain? Brother, this is a mountain. Oh, I see, though. It's not a big section. I don't know. Dare we look around for some silver here? It's really not a big stretch. We could look. Yeah. Okay, let me grab that. I need to put a marker on the map, like, by the way, there's a mountain here. This is mountainous biome. Because its elevation is high enough that it counts as mountain when you're running around, but low enough that it does not show up on the map. We got some rock. Throw that in there. I believe the rest comes with, yes. I'm gonna see if I can keep my posture straight. That might help me. I don't know if that'll actually help or not, but I can certainly try. Let's see, how far along are we? We are almost an hour in. Okay, I'm feeling okay with that. It makes me feel a little better. Makes it sound like I don't want to be here. If I truly did not feel like I could stream, I would not have streamed today. There have been plenty of times where I've been like, yeah, I'm gonna try to stream, and then it's like an hour in, I'm like, no, I can't. Those are typically because of migraines, to be honest. It is not a good idea to power through a migraine.
No. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about a migraine. You just deal with it.
You just deal with it.
Yeah. You don't try to push through, you don't try to whatever. Nope. It's just misery.
It's misery. Absolute misery. It is there. I like to think that I've got a decent pain tolerance. Brain hurty does not count for that tolerance. That if I've got a migraine, I will fold immediately. And it's not even like full strength migraine. I will feel it coming and be like, nope, I need to stop everything. This is gonna become bad. It's like, yeah, I know I was just talking about I was gonna go do this and this and this, but that can no longer happen. Not unless I want to torture myself. Man, there was a time that I was supposed to be, I think, it's like I was supposed to be learning how to do something. And I was just, it was a bad enough migraine that I was feeling physically nauseous. That's how bad it was. But I had to like, kind of had to save face a little bit, kind of maintain, at least not make it look like I was like 100% dying. I didn't hide it completely, I know I didn't, but it was, I did my best, you know, and I you know, did what I could to mitigate what was going on, but it was like, oh, by the time that was done, I was like, I wanted to cry. It was bad. It was very bad. So yeah, typically if I can feel it coming on, it's like, okay, it's time to take a step back and perhaps prepare. So like things like I broke a bone in my foot once, and that really hurt. But I kind of bounced back from that. I mean, of course I didn't know I'd broken the bone, but I bounced back from it okay. I mean, it was just a crack. It wasn't like a full, like, snap or anything. It was a little bone in my foot. It was like a little fracture. It still really hurts, especially, like, as soon as it breaks. It's like, there's it's like a shot of pain and, adrenaline that just, like, immediately just shoots straight up your spine. It's like, oh, it's, I mean, ouch. Yep. Very much ow.
Very much.
And it's like, and that, especially if I had motivation to, like, if there was a reason I needed to push through, I could do that. But it's also, that's just like a crack in the bone. That is not like a full, like split or break, you know? So that's, I mean, that's a little different. Easily the most physical pain I've ever gone through. But, I mean, it was, like I said, I was like, well, you know, I guess we're gonna continue doing whatever. And
I'm going to disagree with you.
What?
I'm going to disagree with you. I will clarify and say the most physical pain you've been conscious for.
Oh! Yes! Wasn't it the surgery after when they had to... Are you talking about that?
Yes!
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Regular surgery, yes. Where they put you out for the surgery itself, there's that level of pain. Uh-huh. There's the pain you went through when had the wisdom teeth taken out. And you were
that one wasn't so bad.
Heavily medicated, which is hilarious.
See, that one was funny, and it hurt, but it was that one was manageable.
Right, you know, through the medication.
With the medication,
you know,
yes,
I'll
with
agree
the
with
medication.
You. But yeah, the recovery pain from the actual surgery itself is actually worse than when you actually break the bone.
Yeah. So what Dad's talking about is
No, actually, that was the end of it. No,
okay.
You have some stories of examples.
Yes, so...
But I wasn't thinking of a specific example outside of...
Isn't that like a...
Just knowing what the recovery is like.
So, hang on. I'm going to listen because the wishbone makes a noise. But,
Oh, that's right. You carry that because you're going to have to get silver.
Yeah, I'm hoping to find silver. I'm not expecting to find any here, though. But yeah, especially with the breaking of the bone. The breaking of the bone, like I said, was kind of able to soldier through it. That was fine, but that was just like because it was the initial like fracture and it wasn't like breaking an arm or anything. So I'm not comparing it to that just because it's not the same. And yeah, there's nothing here.
And I have a point of clarification on that as well, but we'll circle back. Finish your story.
Right. So, 'cause you've got experience too, but I had to get a metal rod embedded in that that part of my foot because when I initially went to the doctor about the pain in my foot, because I thought I like
Those are mushrooms.
mushrooms. Because I kicked something, and it wasn't like an intentional kick. I was like swinging my legs out. But,
and your horseplay a little bit.
It was a little horseplay. Yeah, I was hamming it up. And, I ended up, my foot was under like,
I definitely heard a little chime sound.
I didn't hear it.
It was right when you hit like you jump.
I'm sure it wasn't,
It was way up at the top, right when you left the snow-covered area. But there's thistle down there.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, there was a ching.
Oh, yeah, I wonder if you heard, the critical hit sound. Maybe, I don't know.
No, because it just didn't.
I'm not hearing anything. Oh, wait. Oh, are you talking about sometimes when I get like a bonus item, it doesn't.
Ah, that's what it is. Yes. There you go. That's what it is.
Well, there you go. Mystery solved. But yeah, so I had to get a metal rod in my foot because when I initially went to the doctor to get it looked at, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a bone bruise. It'll heal," and then it didn't. And not only did it, technically it healed, but it formed back incorrectly. So that one was fun. Alright, I'm gonna leave this guy. I'm gonna leave it right here. I'll leave that here. So it ended up healing incorrectly, kind of in the wrong position. And I had to go in and just straight up I had to get,
Yeah, they have to re-break it.
They have to re-break it and had to have a metal rod placed in my foot to set it so that it would, heal correctly. And, yeah, coming out of that, one, I have never been so nauseous. Just, coming out of a... I remember when I was coming out after, coming to after my wisdom teeth were taken out, very disoriented, I could barely stand by myself. It was really funny, actually. Dad kind of had to drag me out of the office.
Well, it was me on one side and one of the dental...
dental technicians, dental techs.
Well, I'm not sure what she was there.
I think it is called like a dental tech, because I remember I asked if they were like nurses, and they're not nurses.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Because, she could have been, like the office clerk, that files the paperwork, as opposed to the person who's assisting with surgery.
Gotcha.
It's just, I don't know where she was in that.
But regardless. So she helped get me out the door.
Yes. Half dragging, half carrying, yes.
It was very funny.
Yep.
And then, it was kind of... I was really worried that I was going to say something embarrassing, so pretty much the whole time I was asking Dad if I was saying anything embarrassing, and he cracked up. He thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But that, it wasn't until after we got home and, I had gotten to settle for a bit that I started feeling the pain. It's like, no, I'm in pain. And the pain medication makes me feel like a slug, and I don't like it. It was, I think it was Oxy. I hated it.
It was, yeah.
And I think I've had it once since for something else, and it was like, I don't like this. Just like last time. It makes me feel sluggish. But,
Did you have it for... It wasn't for dental. What was that part of your foot surgery?
I think it was? I think it was.
Yeah,
don't
for like the day of of the surgery, I think that you had like 2 days worth of medication for that, and then you got put on something else.
I got put on something else, and that something else, I was on that something else when we got out of the hospital. But little did we know that that was not the correct amount. In fact, it was too little.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, we're finally getting to the point of me talking about this. We're finally getting to it.
Yep.
The most excruciating, like, pain I have ever felt in my life. I wasn't even thinking about it when I was like, oh yeah, you know, breaking the bone. No, this was bad. This was bad. I mean, like, of course you have to wait a certain period of time in between taking the medicine before you can take it again, right? And they were like, oh yeah, you know, call us if you need to up the dose or anything. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, it shouldn't be fine. I haven't had issues with that before. But Dad can attest to this. He walked into the room to check on me, and I was sobbing from pain. I mean, just like snot streaming down the nose, you know, it just full-on sobbing from the pain. It's like, call the doctor, increase the dose. I think I'm gonna leave this portal here, or I'm gonna leave it further away. Leave it up here. It's in distance. Yeah, that was bad.
Hello, Ron.
Oh, hello, Ron.
Eating hydro and posture.
Thank you.
Yeah, hydra.
Hydra?
Hydration.
Oh, hydration.
Yeah.
Hydra? Where? Yeah, we were just talking about the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my life. And that was getting a metal rod put in my foot, and then, you know, just they always say that, you know, surgeries, especially on the bone, are gonna suck. But apparently, surgery on the foot is, like, notorious for being incredibly painful as well. Because, I mean, you don't have a whole lot there to insulate it or protect it. It's, like, right there on the surface. So, yeah, sobbing from pain. Easily the most painful thing I've ever felt. You know, and when I was talking about it, too, and I was like, oh, yeah, when I broke my bone, it's like, how did I not think about that? That easily tops it. But, yeah, how did we even get to breaking bones in the first place and feeling pain?
You know, that part I don't remember, but the thing we were going to circle back to was that talking about breaking the bone in your foot, and you're like, that not being the same as breaking an arm or a leg, and you're downplaying the breaking of the small bone. And what I'm going to say is, when you break a large bone in your body, your body still goes into shock, and the same thing it does for any injury of that magnitude, right? Mm-hmm. But so, like, you break your leg, after a certain amount of time, your body just shuts off the pain receptor, so it essentially goes numb. That's how it deals with it, right? Is the pain is so great, it just, nope, done. You know, we're shutting that off for a while, we'll come back to it later, right? And so your body does not do that with a small bone break. So, like, in your foot, your toes, your fingers, that kind of stuff, when those get broken, there is no shut off. It just stays on. Yeah. So when you're kind of downplaying the pain aspect of, you know, well, yeah, it was just in my foot, so it wasn't a major bone break. It's actually preferable to have a major bone break because your body just naturally shuts off the pain receptor.
I guess you would know from experience. You've broken. I think you broke your toe.
I turned two of my toes completely sideways. Yeah, I snapped them. I snapped them perpendicular. Now those were small bone break, right? It's actually one of my sisters was talking about when she broke her femur. I think.
Hold on a second.
Needed
to clarify who it was.
Yeah, it was one of my sisters, and it was from a sports activity. I can't tell you which sport it was because she was highly active in sports.
Sounds right.
So it could have been a winter sport, it could have been a summer sport. I don't know, but for some reason we had gotten on the subject, and she was talking about when she broke her leg, and blah 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 blah, and that it was the weirdest thing that her leg just went completely numb. She lost all feeling in her leg for a while, while waiting for the treatment and to be transported with medical assistance, all that kind of stuff. Well, my leg doesn't even hurt anymore. And they're like, oh yeah, it's normal. This is what your body does. So she had shared that with me, and I'm like, wow, you lucky SOB, because when I was being silly. I was running through my parents' house as a kid, and I caught my foot on the corner of a wall, and so my two toes stopped, and the rest of my body kept going forward, just snapped the two end toes completely sideways, and just the bones just went pop, and that was it.
Incredible pain.
Yeah, and so I go flying across the room and screaming in pain. So yay!
Yippee.
Yep.
So, you know what? I've never actually asked where it happened.
The entry hallway.
Entry hallway.
Yeah, so it's coming from the hallway from the bedrooms into the living room. So I'm going to hand gesture to you, but of course they can't see it. But so, front door is here, bathroom is here, bedrooms are all back here.
Right.
This is the living room, computer room, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So yeah, it was that little da-da-da-da. And I caught that last, next to the coat closet, that last little wall section, opening and then wall section, right? I caught that last one. And so where the couch and coffee table are in the living room, that's where I landed.
So right at the entry.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Ouch.
Yep. And now, so I'm also going to say when I was wrestling with my cousins.
Oh, yes, this is another time.
And they landed on my arm. Both of them were heavy. I mean, they were if they weren't 200 pounds, they were pretty darn close to it. And both of them landed on my arm. So I was laying on my back. We were wrestling, and they tried to hog pile, dog pile, depending on where you come from. Just jumped on top, and it ended up bending my hand completely flush with my forearm.
I remember this one.
In the backwards direction. So it separated the tendon coming from my wrist to the forearm muscles. It completely separated those, and so I wore a brace for months. And it was my right. I'm right-handed, and it of course was my right hand. So I got to learn how to write with my left hand in school, having to take notes. Trying to think, it was like 9th grade, maybe 9th or 10th grade. It was 10th grade.
Dang.
So I had like a third of my school year was writing with my left hand. Horrible handwriting. Horrible handwriting.
But I'm sure they understood.
Oh yeah, I mean I had the braces on, and there's no denying it. But yeah. But so between the two, actually I will say it's comparable to actually the ripping of the muscle from the tendon versus the breaking a small bone was a comparable level of pain.
Yeah, I've heard they're pretty painful.
But as far as which one's worse, I couldn't tell you. They're comparable.
Ron says the feet and hands are some of the most touch-sensitive parts of the body and also contain half the bones in your entire body.
Yep, sounds about right.
That
yeah,
does.
because the tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges, and not only are they fun to say.
They're,
Yeah.
Your phalanges especially are fun to use.
Yeah.
You can do all sorts of things with your phalanges.
So one of them is tarsals, metatarsals. I thought that phalanges, I think, were common to both the feet and the hands, but I thought that the hand bones versus foot bones were different. Were called something different.
Well, it's time to look it up.
Oh look, here's the interweb.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. If you've ever broken a bone, you know the pain, and if you've ever had surgery to fix it, you know that pain as well.
Okay, so in the feet, the tarsals are the ones up near the ankle. The metatarsals is the long bones. That's what you broke. Were a couple of metatarsals. and then the phalanges
Couple of metatarsals.
are the end. Yeah, because you had a small fracture.
No, it was
Here
one of
and-
these bones. It was one of these tinies. It was one of the
It was
tarsals.
one of those?
It was one of the tarsals, but they had to connect it to one of my metatarsals.
Yeah, because I knew that they had to come into
Or
these.
maybe
No.
it was right at the tip of the metatarsal. I think it was the tip of the metatarsal. Well, I mean, look at my.
It was here.
Hold on. Look at
It
my
was in
foot.
that area. Yeah, where's the scar end?
It was here. It was about here where
Right,
it broke.
and see, this is the tarsals.
So it was
So this is all metatarsal.
It was metatarsal.
And these are all phalange.
Yeah. So it was part of the metatarsal for my big toe is the one that broke.
No,
But it was a chip.
it wasn't on the big toe. It was in.
It was on the big toe.
It wasn't just the big toe. It was also the next one in. It was your pointer toe, whatever you'd want to call it.
You know what? After stream, we need to. I still have the X-ray that they took. Actually, it was after they put the rod in, so I don't know how helpful
That's
that'll
fine.
actually be.
But what I'm saying is they put the rod in that, but you still had a partial, what they call a green stick fracture,
green stick.
where it's a small fracture but doesn't snap the bone.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm shaking in yellow speaking. I guess you missed that explanation. So what's happening today, especially why we're so like babbly and talkative, we're both working on not a whole lot of sleep.
Yeah.
Like I've had an hour of sleep within the last 24 hours. So I wanted to. I was kind of lamenting that I don't have a sleepy little fella. So I'm using, even though he's an annoyed fella, I'm using him as a sleepy fella. It's supposed to evoke sleepiness. Because the eyes are shut the way that they are. It's supposed to be Eeby. But I appreciate you pointing that out.
Here it is. Okay. Yeah. So it's tarsals are in the feet and carpals in the hand.
Carpals?
Yes. Yeah, because it's carpal tunnel syndrome
well, yeah, there
in
you
your
go.
wrist. Yeah. But yeah, so it's carpals in the hand, tarsals in the feet.
Gotcha.
But then it's still phalanges for the. See, carpal bones, metacarpals, and phalanges.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of a fun bone to break. And like I said, when I went to the doctor, the first doctor, first doctor.
Yep.
Yeah, he was like, it's a bone bruise, it'll heal. And then it didn't. And then I went to the nurse practitioner and she's like, I'm going to refer you to a specialist. I was like, oh, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Well, and the doctor that we had gone to specializes, quote unquote, in sports medicine. Right? So he's one of the guys that's at the high school football game when the athletes get injured. He goes out and diagnoses them on the field, right? It's like, out of anybody, the sports med guy should be the one that knows.
Yeah, he should be the one that's able to catch, the fracture like that. But
Yeah.
especially, like, I think he wouldn't even take an X-ray.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't need to because he had so much experience with.
He's one of those doctors that should have retired like 10 years ago.
Yep.
One of those guys.
Okay, so Ron says, I have just the thing to represent Sleepy, and she has a puppy.
Yeah, that's a cute emoji. Is that a default Twitch one, or is that from somebody? What a cute puppy. Alright, I'm gonna hit this dungeon. But yeah, yes, incredible pain, and even more so, yeah. Oh yeah, I was mentioning that, like, when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, I didn't really feel all that nauseous from the pain medicine. But coming out of that surgery, to put the metal rod in my foot, oh boy, I could barely move. It's like I was afraid to move, because like every move I felt like I was gonna yarf, just like lose my breakfast. I was like, it was such a touchy thing. It's like, move the wrong way and move the wrong way and be the talk of the day in the nursing ward, That's what I was worried about. It's like, oh man, please don't make a mess they have to clean up. I will never live this down, right? I mean, of course I would, but in the moment I would be incredibly embarrassed. But I mean, we made it back to the vehicle without me upchucking, right? And I mean, it was, I mean, like I said, it was such a touch and go thing. It's like, we had to stop in the hallway a couple times, because it's like, if I move even a single centimeter, I am going to lose everything in my stomach. Excuse you. But like I said, I didn't run into that with, you know, my wisdom teeth, and I'm assuming it's because it was like a different medicine that was used, you know.
Yeah. Well, different medicines and different levels.
Right. Is that?
Dosage, I guess.
Right, yeah, and you never know how it's gonna affect you. Application already added. Cool. So yeah, that one was, like I said, very touch and go. But it ended up being okay. Now, I gotta say, the most annoying thing was that first, like, I think it was like a week where I was, like, bedlocked. I was not allowed to get up from my bed. And when I absolutely, like, if I needed to use the bathroom, I had to be supervised. So it's like, I had to, we've got walkie-talkies, so Dad gave me a walkie-talkie so I could communicate with him.
Yep.
Just, you know, reliably instead of, you know, worrying about text and whatnot.
Yeah, because we had the cell phones that we were using and everything else, but for whatever reason, sometimes cell reception at the house is not so great. And so I would text you or you would text me and we wouldn't get it for like 10 minutes.
Right.
And so
that still happens.
Yeah, and when you're trying to deal with a medical situation, you don't really want a 10-minute delay. You just don't. So yeah, having the availability of the two-way radios.
Very nice.
Right,
Very nice.
which I had already owned. I mean, we had picked it up.
Oh yeah, this wasn't bought specifically for
No.
this. We already had it.
No, I had picked them up several years prior. It was for camping, actually. And we didn't have cell phones at that time because I didn't have justification for it at that particular time. They were pretty expensive and not. They just weren't as prevalent. Landlines were still highly active, right, at that time. But now, of course, everybody has a cell phone, but whatever. So yeah, the instant talk to chat and all that other kind of stuff. No, you did that with a walkie-talkie, with a two-way radio. So yeah.
But yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna need to come back to these. It's not big enough to be very zone. But yeah. So so I would have to call him via radio and be like, hey, I need to use the bathroom. And so he'd come to the room and I'd hoist myself up on the crutches that I was issued. I would hobble my way, almost like, compared to like someone that's incredibly drunk, just wobbly. Wobbly and with intense concern. Wobble my way over to the bathroom, and he had to be like stationed outside the door. Just, you know, like make sure that I could lower myself down, and then, you know, it's like, all right, are you done? Okay, opening the door now, and like, you know, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't want to have to be escorted to the bathroom, but that's what had to happen those first few days. And then it's like, after that, I had to crutch around, you know? That was a bad time. It was a good thing I wasn't working at that point, because I think that would have been a very bad time. I can only imagine trying to, that's around the time frame where I would have been working at this local shop.
Yep.
I can only imagine, because people are not nice sometimes. Sometimes customers are just straight up not cool.
Correct.
So I can only imagine the wonders and joys of trying to navigate those aisles and having someone accidentally sweep out your crutch from underneath you because they weren't paying attention. I imagine I would have had a great time. But anyway, yeah, so, oh man, I just remembered there was one night where it was at the point where I didn't need to be escorted everywhere. I had some freedom, but it was still recommended that I don't move around so much. I think. I don't think we were. I don't think I was still deadlocked, but it was at a point where you were like, "Hey, if you need help, like, let me know. Like, even if you have to wake me up." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure." And then I didn't do that because I was like, "I don't want to wake him. I feel bad." So one time I ran out of toilet paper in the bathroom, and I decided to try to silently crutch over to the
silently.
yeah, try to crutch over to where the extra toilet paper was and try to get it. And I almost succeeded. And then I knocked my crutch over and accidentally bumped my foot on the ground. And this was right next to Dad's bedroom door, and so
No.
of course he heard me.
No, you made it there successfully.
I made it there successfully. I just, like, as I was trying to grab the toilet paper, I ended up dropping. Like, no, the crutch started sliding from where I, like, put it, and I tried to catch it, and I didn't catch it. That's what happened. So then, of course, he comes out of the room, and I'm like... And he was upset because I didn't ask him for help, because I tried to do it by myself.
And not that I didn't understand the drive to do things on your own, be self-sufficient. It was, you knew you were pushing it.
I did, yes, but I was like, I'm built different. I can succeed, and I almost did. Going back, no, it's from Wolf Conservation Center, 24/7 Wolf Enclosure Stream. That sounds wonderful. I'll have to, you know what? I think maybe for the raid tonight, if they're going, I'll probably send you folks that way. I'll have to try to remember that.
Say that again.
Wolf Conservation Center. You write it down?
I am going to make a note.
Yeah.
Because I will say...
Yes, memory is not great, especially when Eeby. There's another troll over there.
No, actually, wolves are one of my favorite animals. The timber wolf.
Oh, dang. We landed a crit on him.
Alright, so I'm actually going to put it next to the tissues and the microphone, so hopefully it doesn't be like...
It probably was. You know what? Here, better
Yeah, a little bit.
space. Like, here.
Okay, that works. Yeah, I started to write wolf conversation, not conservation.
Wolf Conversation Center.
It's like, so what happens here?
It's like talking to like huskies.
Yep. Huskies is it Malamutes?
Yeah, Malamutes. Probably could have marked whatever painkiller they used for the foot thing as something that had a reduced effect on you. I'm sure that was put in my record.
Yeah, in your file.
Yeah, Dad had to call them.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, we need a higher dose because
Well, and they being oral surgery center, right? So they know that people have different pain tolerances, but they're going to start on the low end so that they have somewhere to go.
High.
Right. Instead of, hey, we put you on max dosage and it's not doing anything, we've got nowhere to go from here. Okay, so that looks like it's 4 mushrooms there, so you may still want to mark that.
Yeah, I marked it.
Okay.
I just wanted to get back over here. Go ahead and put this down. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, because that was pretty dang bad. But where was I going? Hi, 2-star. Bye, 2-star. I do find it amusing that skeletons are such a non-issue now. Especially how scary they were in the beginning. And now it's, oh, hi, 2-star. Bye, 2-star. Yeah, where was I going with this? What was I talking about?
Pain.
Oh, yes, pain, but... Oh, it's a double mush zone. am I able to pick all of this up? No. Okay, well I have mush marked on the map at least, so I can come over here. Am I? Excuse you? Walking over here thinking you can just beat up on my portal.
Oh dear.
How dare. Yeah, and I've got to say that if I do a lot of walking, especially like up and down stairs, my foot will still hurt.
Yep. And I gotta say, congratulations, you're going to deal with that for the rest of your life.
I would have had to anyway. It's just that if I'm walking on a surface that is flat, it is not an issue. But if I hadn't gotten the surgery, it would have constantly been an issue.
Correct.
It's just that I have to go up and down stairs so often now that I'm really feeling it. But otherwise, I mean, I don't regret it. I think that was a good thing for me to do.
Oh, no, doing the surgery was definitely the right thing to do.
I remember my grandma especially was trying to convince me not to do it. Because there was an option of getting a shot every, like, 3 months. And it's like, I don't want to have to get poked every 3 months. You know, when I could just get this surgery and then it's done.
Yep.
But she was worried that, you know, surgery is a pretty, you know, I guess you could say drastic measure.
Well, there's dangers.
There's dangers, yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
And she didn't want me to, like, jump to it. Which I guess in a way I kind of did, but it was like, the alternative is constantly needing to go into a clinic. Like, every 3 or so months, just for this, when a surgery could potentially fix it permanently. Well, and for the most part, yes, it did. It ached occasionally, but it was occasional. It wasn't every day.
Yeah.
So I was willing to make that trade. But yeah, and she didn't want me to do it. And I'm like, Grandma, I'm gonna do it. I have, 1, not good with needles. 2, that's, over time, would be devoting a lot of time just to get poked in the foot, and not what I meant to do. Just to get poked in the foot, and then it's temporary relief. So she was really worried about it, but it ended up being okay. And I ended up having a great podiatrist, I think is the name for it. Yes, I had a great podiatrist. Oh, he said that the surgery was like textbook, and he wished he could have taken pictures of it. It's like, man, if I had known you were so willing to take pictures, I would have asked you to take pictures. Of like mid-surgery pictures, because I was really curious, but I was afraid it would sound weird. And so we were both like, man, I wish we could have communicated on that.
Yes, completely. Because, yeah, you know, the medical stuff, for me, is fascinating. The things that they can do now medically that just, it boggles the mind what they're able to do. And, as well as the limitations now. It's like, no, wait a minute. When I was growing up, you know, as a kid, I'm watching these. Okay, so I'm going to step back. I currently do not see a troll in this cave.
Yes, yeah. I
made
absolutely sure. I made absolutely sure.
Yeah, doesn't mean it's not going to poof out of the wall at the moment. So.
Yeah, imagine if he's just clipped over there and he's like, closer, now.
Yeah. But anyway, so when I've had different procedures done, and that you're still conscious for, you know, so like it's a local anesthesia, and I'm sitting there on the table looking over at the screen the doctors are using as they're you know, moving their implements around, and then they look at me watching what they're doing, just shocked. They're like, you're like actively watching what we're doing. I'm like, yeah, this is really cool, you know, to just. Yeah, it feels weird that you've got this metal rod that you stuck in my abdomen, kind of a deal. I had they were dealing with something with my stomach, and so watching them push this metal rod into my stomach and just kind of
feeling the pressure of it,
move around, and watching it happen on the screen, kind of with one eye and the other eye physically seeing them move the thing. Is this a repeat?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just kind of seeing both things at the same time is like this. This is fascinating, absolutely fascinating. You know, and the local anesthesia that they were using was spot on. You know, I could feel
Third
pressure.
pole.
I could feel pressure, but there wasn't like ow 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 ow. You know, but it was the pressure of what they were doing. So yeah, they had the right balance of meds, whatever, so that I was comfortable while they were doing it. But yeah, just watching that kind of stuff is cool to me. I'm intrigued. Where I know several people, like one of my sisters, just this sight of a bloody nose, just no, she's out.
Incredibly squeamish about it.
Extremely so. Yep.
Which I didn't used to be so bad about blood, but these days, blood gets interesting.
Well,
And I don't.
There-
Sometimes it's my blood. Sometimes it's somebody else's blood.
yeah, because you came back when they were doing a diagnosis test on you or something.
Yes, I hate that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep, and you. I don't know if I invited you back or you asked to come back. I don't
I
remember.
asked.
But the phlebotomist, the person who that's their job is to take the blood samples. He was new, and so he would he had a trainer in there with him. But when he put the needle in, he went in one side and out the other.
Not arm, the vein that he was trying to draw blood from.
Correct.
He
He
tore, not tore.
went completely through the vein.
He poked completely through.
And that can happen. But the
Squeamish
problem
warning,
was,
I guess.
But the problem, full disclosure, if this is
If you don't like needle talk, plug your ears.
Yeah, for like at least 30 seconds. So he ended up kind of just searching around with the needle in my arm to try and get it back in the vein slash
Proper
artery.
position, yeah.
And which you don't do. I mean,
No,
there's a
that was
lot of
bad.
tissue damage, and it causes a big bruise and all that other kind of stuff. And so, of course, his trainer was like, no, you don't do that. But Screamer is there watching and sees it, and she went pale, and the little ooh, and it was okay. How about you lean against the wall there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the trainer turned and saw me, and she was like, "There's a chair behind you. Sit down."
Go sit down.
It
Go
was
sit.
like, "Aye, Captain. You don't have to tell me twice."
Right.
Oh, it was I like immediately sick. It was like, it was horrible to watch.
Yep.
And since then, I mean, I've never been a big fan of needles, but that, like, exacerbated it. That made it so much worse, because I was like, I really hope no one does that to me.
Right.
And so now it's gone from, I really don't like needles, to, like, borderline panic attack if I have to be poked.
Yep. Well, because we had to go in, we were trying to figure out something that you were dealing with, and of course they're like, well, we need to rule this out and rule that out, so on and so forth. So we just need to take some blood and everything else.
Yeah. Yep.
And you did the pass out in the seat.
Straight up passed out in the chair. Yeah.
Yep. But now, fortunately, we were like, no, she gets a little squeamish, and so they're like, well, you're sitting in the chair anyway.
Yeah. And the nurse was already kind of braced for it.
Right. Well, and then they put their knee in between your legs so you can't slide out of the chair, and they put the rest down across your abdomen, kind of a deal, and
she had
in case.
I slumped over, and so she had to hold my head so I didn't whack it on anything.
Yep.
But it was not only did I pass out, I started seizing up, and this was a
It was
thing.
a minor seizure. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and it was because of the lack of airflow to the brain. Well, blood flow. Lack of oxygen getting to the brain,
Yes.
and so it wasn't like.
No, well, you had hyperventilated beforehand. You had essentially you stressed yourself out.
I did. Incredibly. There's a specific name for it. Let me look it up. Let's see. Seizing after passing out. What is that called again? Syncope. Vasovagal syncope, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's VASOVAGAL. Syncope. Which is, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Vasovagal. Vasovagal. Okay. Occurs when you faint because your body overreacts to certain triggers, such as the sight of blood or extreme emotional distress. It may also be called neurocardiogenic syncope.
Yep.
Vasovagal syncope trigger. Okay. It causes your heart rate and blood pressure to drop suddenly. It leads to reduced blood flow to your brain, causing you to briefly lose consciousness. Let's see, this isn't talking about the seizing part, though, because during this, bystanders may notice jerky, abnormal movements, a slow, weak pulse, and dilated pupils. So yeah, the jerky, abnormal movements. Yeah, I was wearing flip-flops, and I kicked my flip-flop across the room, and it landed right at your feet.
I know, because I was there.
You were there. Hey, you saw more of it than I did.
Yep.
I'm sure it freaked you out a little bit.
I was minorly concerned, because I'd heard of it before, I'd seen people respond that way before, but yeah, to see your own child do it, it was a little unnerving. But it also was very short-lived.
Yes, it wasn't very long at all.
Yeah, you were out like 5-10 seconds, and then you started waking right back up. So
started to get kind of like the embarrassed giggles a little bit. I mean,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely an overreaction, and it was like. I was fine, and then I looked over at the needle, and it was like, oh, I shouldn't have looked. And it's like, I was okay for a bit, and then I felt it, like, shift in my arm, and it was like, nope, gone. That was a not-so-fun one. I remember, it was, like, faster than falling asleep.
Oh, yeah. It was a light switch. Boop.
Yeah, off.
Gone.
Just, like, immediate.
Yep.
Gone. Hey, there's another fueling camp over there. I'm gonna hit that.
Well, you've got locks right there, too.
Yeah, well,
So bring them on.
used to hitting that, too.
Yep.
I guess I could. Yeah, hang on.
Is weird as this is, just going back to the conversation we were having the other day of locks being, lizard ox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just how my brain links things together, and just thinking lizard/reptile, which led me to snake, which led me to Phobos.
Wait a second. I've already marked this fueling camp, is it?
And just
Did I kill it already?
just missing out on.
I did kill this one already.
Having Phobos around. And reminiscing over Phobos was a ball python of one of my other daughters that lived at our house for a while she was between places to live, and so it kind of became my buddy. It would hang out in my shirt pocket. So that tells you how young this snake was.
Yeah, she was itty bitty. She'd like to wrap around your watch,
and then she would wrap around the watch. Yeah, because all snakes, at least of this family, are attracted to electrical pulses, right? And so the electrical field generated by my wristwatch gave her the tingles, I guess you would say. Just she could feel the pulses from the electronics, and so she'd like to wrap around my wristwatch as it was on my wrist. And so I have several pictures of that, or when she would hang out in my shirt pocket for the warmth. And just she would poke her head out and look around, and then just tuck right back in. So that was like, it reminded me of a baby kangaroo with the pouch.
Yeah.
It was kind of whatever. Walk down memory lane, and how that was linked to staring the lizard ox in the face there just reminded me of. Because sometimes Phobos would poke her head up and like look at me full on, face to face, whatever, and then go back in, whatever. Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the one that's massively exhausted, but I'm the one that's babbling. How does that work?
Well, we're both exhausted.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, he's like one shot. Come on, one shot. Okay. And my portal's over there. I actually don't have the space to pick it up anymore. So
Okay.
I'm gonna grab these and then I'm gonna run over to the fueling camp, dump some stuff, and then go back to the portal. Or I could just go through the portal I'm just gonna go through the portal, drop this stuff off, and then bring it over to the fueling camp. There we go. That's much better than what I was thinking. Ah, wonderful memories.
Yep.
Snakes are stinky, though.
Yeah. Yeah, their droppings are very potent.
Fetid.
With ammonia.
Foul.
They're just, yeah, but fascinating. Fascinating to watch them eat.
Yeah.
And just that whole process. Yeah, just intriguing.
And they feel cool when you pet them.
Yep. Yeah, they're not slimy and gross and blah blah. You know, they're well, their temperature, of course, is based on their environment.
Yeah.
So if they're cool, it's cold. If they're warm, it's because they're warm, right? But yeah, it's just it's a unique kind of silky kind of feel.
Yeah.
The scale is just very smooth, and at least they should be.
Yeah.
It's when they're not, it means they're sick and there's a problem. So.
Or they're in the middle of a shed.
Right. But yeah, so as far as having to clean the cage and stuff, yeah, I didn't care for that much. It stank. And you know, during the molting, is that what it's called when snakes are shedding the
I
skin?
think it's molting, yeah.
I know that's birds when they're shedding, you know,
Or it might just be
swap-
shed then.
But anyways, yeah. There are aspects of their care and
Yeah, of
upkeep
snake
that
care.
are less than ideal, but it's part of, you know, being a responsible caretaker.
Yeah, because pet owner is another thing that could work, just not in this case, because Phobos wasn't ours.
No, Phobos wasn't ours. I was glad to see her go, but I was also glad to have her. You know, I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, and it turned out to be a positive experience, which wasn't shocking, but I guess I'm going to say I'm surprised at how much I've missed it since then, but at the same shot, not enough for me to go
Get one for yourself.
get a snake for myself. But yeah, so for the time, it was good at the time, and that time has passed, and I'm satisfied with the memory of it. I don't need to be currently living it. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But then she got full grown, which is a little bit bigger than when she was in and out of my pocket.
Yeah, she's still cute though. I like their little ball pythons, like little faces. They always look like they got like that cat grin.
Well, yeah,
you know?
it's a constant smile.
They're
Yep.
so cute. Ah, what wonderful little guys. And it's always fun too when you're like when you feel that they're cold, and it's like you put your warm hand near them and they gravitate to your hand. It's
Yep.
like, yes, I am providing warmth.
Yeah, the heat pits on their mouth, their lower jaw, it's lower and upper jaw, but yeah, and they just kind of like they sense that heat, and they just turn towards it. And, yep, I'm going this way, and you're like, yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Oh, Phobos.
Yep.
She was a wonderful little.
But now
little
the
snake.
other two that they ended up getting,
They never even named them.
well, they didn't, and it was a pair. They were a mated pair, a male and female, and the female was she was a jerk.
She was kind of ornery, yeah.
She did not like. She was not raised to be handled a lot.
She wasn't socialized as a baby.
There you go. So it was a. Leave me alone. Get away from me. Leave me alone. Where's my food? Yeah, and that's, you know, it was feed me and then get away. That was it. Feed me, get away. Oh, and clean up my poop.
Yes, I
And then,
remember.
oh, get away. But then the male wanted to hang out, but had a neurological issue.
He was a wobbly.
Well, yeah, he had the wobble thing, yeah. Where just, it was the neurological condition that he had messed up nerve endings. And so he would start kind of going in a direction. You could see he wanted to go in a specific direction. And then he would just randomly make a left turn, you know, and like the same thing when he was trying to feed. he would line up his strike, and then just 90 degrees off to the side and bump into the side of the container, and miss. Yeah, completely. So we couldn't have live food. You had to have frozen. That
Well,
of course
they
you
all
put
had
out
frozen.
thawed, but
They all had frozen.
well, they tried to do a live once, and just couldn't do it. I might be faulty memory on that one, but I thought they tried to do a live feed on that one.
I, as far as I recall, they only ever did frozen.
At our house, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You might have been different at home, but anyway.
The live feed, I think, is cheaper than the frozen.
You're right. I always feel bad for the little mice, though. I know that's kind of just like part of it. It's the circle of life and all that.
You do and you don't. There's a purpose there. See, so the mouse is a food source, and it has to be viewed as the food source, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a. You're not trying to be malicious and mean towards the mouse. There's a purpose to this, and it's a natural part of life.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, they don't live long.
No, they don't.
Once they're in that predicament, I mean, it's not. There's no needless suffering involved. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's me. I always feel bad about it. I mean, I'm not. I will say that as much as I am not a fan of animal suffering, I'm not vegan either. As long as they're, raised humanely and treated with respect, then,
Yep.
it's a sacrifice.
Okay, so I need to step back into chat just a moment. Ron says molting and shedding are used interchangeably for snakes, and then don't know if that's factually correct or just how people talk. But
Yeah, that is. I feel like that's an important distinction to make.
yeah, what you find on the internet is not necessarily the truth.
Well, and people don't always follow the definitions of words. Sometimes they will give a word a definition. Well, that's how, slang and lingo happens.
Or sloughing.
Sloughing?
Yeah, sloughing skin. Well, your body's slough
you're
skin
talking.
cells.
You're talking about. Okay, I thought you were saying another word for slang and whatnot. I was like,
No,
sloughing?
sorry.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Okay. So let me go here. The process of shedding skin. Oh crap.
Oh, are we diving into a whole thing here?
Ecdysis. Let's see if this gives me the phonetic.
Let me see. What is it?
Why
how
do
you
you
spell it?
snakes shed their skin?
How do
No,
you
I don't
spell
want
it?
your-
Some sites say they're the same, some say they're different, some will start out saying they're different, then use them interchangeably in the exact next line. I'm probably being misled by bullshit AI writing and I can't figure it out quickly at all. Sloughing also is used.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. So
what a
I'm
word,
on.
sloughing.
I'm on reconnectwithnature.org. That's where I currently am. And it says, okay. So I'm scanning down.
As
The
opposed to
process
scanning up.
of shedding skin is called ECDYSIS, ecdysis,
Where is it?
right here.
Yeah, let's say ecdysis.
ECDYSIS.
Or ecdysis.
And manufacturers can affect how and when they shed, including species age, weather temperature, nutritional health, presence of bacteria and parasites, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and when the snake is younger, they do it more often because their body is growing. So, yeah, it is a natural part of their process.
It is indeed.
And there's even a video here where you can watch a garter snake do it.
Nice.
So, cool.
Garter snakes are cute. They're
Yeah.
wonderful little guys. I caught a garter snake. It was a few months ago. I had to free him, actually.
Yeah, got
And it was kind of scary because I was afraid he was going to bite me. I mean, being a wild animal, reasonable to assume that, especially I had to get near his business end at one point, by which I mean his face, where his teeth are, his fangs. So I was definitely worried he was going to bite me, but he didn't. He was very gracious and did not bite me as I was trying to rescue him.
Yep. Yeah, and it's, people say, oh, the animal knew what I was doing. Typically they don't.
Typically they don't.
It's just it's a kind of, it's a panic response, and sometimes their panic response is, I'm immovable. What was his name in Guardians of the Galaxy, the one played by Dave Bautista?
Oh, Drax.
Drax, yeah. He's
You
like,
can't see me.
You can't see me. I am invisible. I'm holding so still that I have become invisible. Right, and so that's part of the panic response is, if I just quit moving, I will become invisible, because some of their prey, as well as some of their predators, their vision is based on movement, and so when they quit moving, they kind of blend into the background. So that it's part of their defense response is, if I quit moving, I become invisible, and they leave me alone. They move on, right? Yeah. But that's the preferred response, instead of bite, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, because I've unfortunately been the recipient of both on that front, which is why,
Yes.
when we've had them at the house, I will always grab a pair of gloves, of leather gloves. I will not go bare hand.
I didn't really have the option to grab gloves, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Just
well,
based on the situation.
yep, where we were, and yeah.
I've seen, let's see, ecdysis is the more insect-specific one, I thought. I don't know. I've seen a garter snake chew on someone's finger for several seconds in an attempt to do harm and still not leave a mark. They are unfortunately not very tough snakes. I have been pissed on by one, though.
Yes. Oh, yeah. All of
They
them
will
will
do that.
pee on you in a heartbeat. It's I was about to say, within the animal realm, that's like one of the default responses is to urinate on whatever.
On a threat.
Well, and it's not just necessarily a threat. Hey, it's a 1-star leech. But just as a reaction to whatever is messing with them, whether it's prey or predator or undecided, whatever. It just excreting bodily fluids. Birds do it too. They'll poop on you. It's just, yeah.
Have you ever been pooped on by a bird?
Oh yeah.
You have?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You've held live chicks as well. Baby chickens.
Oh yeah, I guess
right?
that's fair.
And it's like, oh, look at this cute little. Oh man, this baby chicken just pooped all over me. Right. So yeah, I mean, it's a natural response, what have you. But where was I going with that?
We talk about getting peed on by a snake.
But yeah, in a heartbeat, it's like an instantaneous.
I'll do it.
Oh yeah, you're picking me up? Well, guess what? Whoosh. How do you like that?
Yeah, I had to, because of the situation this snake was in, I had to look up a guide on how to free him. And it did warn me that he would pee or poop on me. I was like, oh man, well, I mean, I would much rather free the snake and have him excrete on me than not free the snake and something bad happen to him.
Well, and my point was going to be that, within the animal kingdom, but I do have to say, if you've ever held a baby, they will do that to you too.
Baby, yeah, I mean, like, yes.
Poop, pee, vomit, they're like, oh, hello.
All over your brand new shirt.
Yep. Oh, freshly washed clothing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Babies.
Yep. So yeah, even human animals have that response.
Indeed. I don't think,
You still working on your jumping skill?
Yeah, I need to. But it's just my stamina now. I put a portal down. There it is. Let me just mark this real quick, because we got locks nearby that I want to keep.
Yoink.
Hey. Locks that I wish to introduce to the cold embrace of death. Don't stop running away from me while I kill you.
How dare. Why did you only said 17? Ooh, yeah.
Oh?
It did not like that.
I'm assuming something occurred.
Yeah, there's a track on this album that is not behaving.
Whoops, 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 whoops.
There's 18 tracks, and the one in the middle, track 8, was like, yeah, I don't like it. So
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Don't like it. 109, 124, 125, 128, 133, 134, 138, 140, 142, 144, 153 all had an incident.
Hi.
So, yeah. We'll go ahead and call it that. Curious. Since I manually entered all this in,
Ow.
how that information carried over from one location to the other.
Oh, we've been at this for about 2 hours. We got 1 hour left.
There you go.
The way I see it, it's 1 hour until bedtime.
I'm actually going to stay up later than you.
Yeah, that actually does not happen too often. At least in recent days, it hasn't.
Correct. Yeah, because when you were younger and you had a fixed bedtime,
Yes.
I definitely stayed up later than you. But I also got up earlier than you. That's what was silly. And I didn't get a nap in the middle of the day either. So, so I was getting up 5 o'clock in the morning to leave the house at 6 to be at work at 7. Because where I was working versus living was an hour commute each way.
Through the
but
snow.
If
Hills
no,
both ways.
no, this was no.
No,
this was
I'm making
whatever.
a joke, but yeah, it's real though.
Right, but if I waited and left a half an hour later, that hour commute became an hour and a half commute. And then if I waited an extra 15 minutes, it became a 2-hour commute just with the traffic flow, how the traffic patterns work. It got. There was a point to me leaving so early and getting to work at the time I got to work. So at that time frame, yeah, you were getting up 9 o'clock, whatever. You'd
Really
have
young.
breakfast around 9, and then your oldest sibling may have been kindergarten.
Oh wow, yeah, that's ancient history.
Yeah. So all 3 of you have gone through the whole schooling process from it's been over 20 years.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so getting up around 9 and you'd have your little breakfast, whatever, and then around 12, 1 o'clock you'd have your lunch, and then you'd have your snack around 3 to 4, and supper around 6 o'clock, and bedtime 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it was 8 o'clock for us. It was 9 o'clock for our oldest sibling.
Well, because she was several years older than you.
Yeah. I remember being so jealous that she got to stay out another hour.
Yep, she got the extra hour, but she had already put her time in. Where her bedtime was 8 o'clock, so she was just old enough she could stay up till 9.
It's not like we didn't stay up in the room.
Correct. But you had to be quiet in your room.
Had to be quiet, yeah, because we were supposed to be trying to sleep.
Correct. But yeah, did we expect you to be like 801 snoozy? Nope. No, we didn't. But for our own sanity.
Go in your room and be very quiet until you fall asleep.
Yep. And go to sleep quickly, especially when you started going to school. It was go to sleep quickly, because you got to get on the bus. We lived far enough away that you rode the bus to school, and 2, we were in the county school system. We were not in a city school system, and so they had one bus that had a longer route because it was a county school. So they had reduced quantity of buses for one, and a larger mileage of the route. Well, I mean, what was high school like? How
Same
long
thing.
was that commute? Because we
It's
were
like
only
half hour to 45 minutes.
right half hour to 45 minutes, and we were 3 miles from the school, maybe 4.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
just if you just got in the vehicle and drove, you were 5 minutes, maybe 10,
I'd say 10.
right? So, but having to go through this neighborhood, that neighborhood, and up this street and down that street, and circle around that pond, and all that other stuff. It was a 45-minute bus ride.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So that's my point, is that being out in the county, you've got a much longer bus route than whatever.
Right.
But that's why
Wave in
you had to go to sleep as quickly as you could, because you had to get up earlier because your bus ride was so long, and school started at the same time regardless how close you lived to the school. Great. Oh, that was nice to get a pulling in the Desquito in the same swing.
Swords are back up to 80.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! That's a rock. Yeah.
So you've gone through the similar thing of having to deal with the commute.
Yeah. I sometimes I would sleep, but sometimes I'd watch the sunrise. That was kind of my favorite part of riding the school bus. Was getting to see the sights. I remember being jealous of people being driven to school, but it was like, you know what? I'm glad I had that experience though, of riding the bus. Kind of a weird thing, but like that's kind of one of the things I miss most about school is the bus ride. It wasn't like I particularly had a lot of friends on the bus. It was just the being able to just kind of like zone out watching the scenery.
And I'm going to say this, in that my best time of your school life, right, was not the academic side. It was
band.
It was band. Yeah, it was the band side. So
We've talked about that a lot.
It was the activities that came along with school that were more, entertaining to me. Because I mean, you had academic stuff that you did as well, because you were on like the. It wasn't Knowledge Bowl. Scholars Bowl for you, and stuff like that. Plus, just other academic activities that you were involved in. And even though they would have some special events and what have you, it was still the marching band for me. That was like, that's the coolest thing ever. It's actually the one thing I regret of my school career, is that I did not choose to participate in that when I was in school. I just chose not to, because I had the opportunity to do it. I just chose not to do it. I just.
Right.
And it wasn't anything derogatory to, only jerks do this, or only geeks do this. It's nothing like that. It's just I had no interest whatsoever.
Yeah.
And as soon as school was done, I was out the door. I'm gone. I spent as little time there as I possibly could. I just wanted to be out exploring, because that's just what I did. I'd get on my bike and I just disappeared. I didn't get a car until I was 19. So I graduated high school. Even through high school, I didn't have a car. It was once I moved away from home is when I got a car. So I was on my bicycle. Well, since before I started school, actually.
Yep. Yes, that was kind of your like thing to.
Yep. It's because I started off. I was I was free and on the road as a toddler. It started off with a trike, then I moved up to a big wheel.
Yeah.
And then it went to a bicycle.
Yes, a big wheel and a police call.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I've ridden in cop cars several times, but I've never been arrested. I've been picked up several times in my youth for having no business being that far away from home, being the age that I was. Yeah, just I took my big wheel and I rode it from one end of town to the other, and was almost all the way home when the cops picked me up. I mean, I could physically see my house. I was 2 houses away from making it all the way back home, but I was 3 or 4, and I had been gone for hours. I just hopped on my big wheel and took off. Took advantage of my sister babysitting me, because she got distracted by something, and then I just disappeared, and she had no idea where I was, how to find me, so on and so forth. So yeah, I called the cops. I mean, they did.
She did the right thing.
Yeah, and they tracked me down. Yeah, like literally two doors down from the house.
Yep.
Yep. So that was kind of when it started, and ever since then, I've always been an exploratory type personality. But yeah, so I would get on my bicycle and I'd be 30 miles away, but in a blink of an eye. It's like, hey, where'd Paul go? Oh, well, he's 2 towns over, on his bike again. What do you do?
On his bike again.
On his bike again.
Ooh. Oh, they got a deer. I got a free deer for that.
Yay.
It's because of the mosquitoes, the death mosquitoes that were flying around, harassing the skeletons. They got a deer, too. More free stuff that I won't turn down.
Yeah, yeah.
This
So
is another dungeon. Hey, you guys want to come over here? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, my parents were unaware of my level of exploring that I did, until, of course, you start reminiscing. Oh yeah, when I was
I remember when I was 5 and I rode my bike all the way over here.
Right.
You went that far?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I guess you didn't know that. Yeah,
Yep.
I did.
Yeah.
I totally did. That was me.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, you remember that one time that you caught me, and I was here, and you're like, you're never doing that again. Little did you know,
I did it again. Not only again, but many agains.
And 50 times further than yeah.
many agains and 50 times after that.
Right. Well, and the time that I grew up, in the location that I grew up, things were they were just different. It was just different. So for the most part, you were left alone. I mean, growing up when I did, it was okay. You've done your take care of your responsibilities at home, right? Whatever they were, you do that first thing in the morning, and because it was hey, I'm going to work, and I'm going, my dad's going to work, my mom's going to work. You have these tasks to get done today, i.e., do the dishes, or I want you to vacuum the living room, whatever. You had a couple tasks that you did at the house, and then it was, and then I want you to get out of the house and just go do something for a while, whatever. But I don't want you just hanging around the house all day. But I don't want you back until supper time. Go occupy yourself, right? And so it was okay. You just got in the habit of you got up, you did your chores in the morning, because then you were free for the rest of the day. And I would get on my bike by about 8 o'clock. I'd grab something to munch on, whatever, and I'd throw that in a fanny pack. That was the age that I grew up in, the 80s, 70s, and 80s, where fanny packs were a big deal. And so I would stock up my fanny pack with my Walkman, my music, and a snack or two, and $1 or $2. Just in case I wanted to stop off at a convenience store and grab a treat. And I would just hop on my bike and I'd go. And sometimes I'd bring my fishing stuff with me, and I'd go fishing somewhere. And then but you didn't get home until it was turning dark.
Street lights were turning on.
8, 9 o'clock, and that was the time. You either had to make it home for dinner, so you had to be home by 5 or 6, or it was be home before the street lights came on, which that time of the year was 8 or 9 o'clock. So you'd be gone 12 hours. and just cruising around, not getting into any trouble, just
doing whatever.
Yeah,
hanging out with friends or
right. So you go to one friend's house and hang out with them for a while, and then you go to a park, or you meet up with several friends at a park and do a sports thing, or frisbee, or soccer, or baseball, football, just whatever for a little bit, and then you go over here and just do whatever. But there was a lot of freedom that we had where. Yeah, you still had the bad actors out there. You still had the people that were doing petty crimes, and you still had the people that were doing the drugs. But it's not to the level that it is today. It was not nearly as prevalent as it is today. Yeah, to just be able to be completely self-sufficient and only deal with people if you chose to deal with people for a solid 10 hours out of your day. That was awesome. It was awesome.
That sounds nice. Definitely not something that is easily done today.
No.
And especially where I grew up, not recommended.
No.
We were kind of in an area where if you got lost, there was no guarantee you were going to be found.
Correct. Well, for multiple reasons. Part of it was that you were kind of isolated in the country, and there were actual predatory animals in the area. So you had nature issues. Then you had bad actors of the human variety.
I would not call animals bad actors at all, though.
No.
They're just actors.
I said of the human variety, bad actors of the human variety. But you had threats, potential threats of the animal variety.
Yeah.
Because we had coyotes, wolves, bear, mountain lion. I mean,
They're there.
They were there, right? Foxes, stuff like that. Most of that, they'll just leave you alone. They're just not interested. And like if they see you, they'll just go the other way. They're just not interested. But
they're desperate enough.
Right, but if you stumble across them and they feel threatened or cornered, cornered was automatically threatened. Then yeah, they may
do some damage.
They may do some damage. So you had that aspect. Then you had, like I said, the human bad actor aspect. And then there was just the environment itself. It
could be a little treacherous in some places.
Yep. If you took a tumble down a little bluff, a ravine kind of a situation, and got injured, and nobody could see where you were. Yeah.
Could be bad things.
You could just exposure to the environment overnight, kind of a deal, or because of injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, so long story short, not the best place to be wandering around, especially as a kid.
Not alone.
Yeah, we did kind of go on like little nature hikes.
Yep.
Those were fun.
Yeah, we do some exploratory stuff, but they were you're correct. They were minor because of all of the aforementioned stuff, as well as some of the people in the area were very protective of their property.
Yeah. You wouldn't even allow you to step on it.
Yeah.
So much as breathe on it.
Yeah. And regardless of how you feel on that was the reality, that there were certain areas that you just weren't welcome to go.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's like a lot of those like no trespassing signs that you see up, where it's like if you can see this sign, I can see you through my scope, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So why is it coming up with it? Did it pop up with that?
What? What do you mean?
On screen, it was like, oh, to build a portal, it takes these things, and that.
Oh yeah, well that's.
Did it always
Yes.
show that, and I've just been clueless to it?
It's always been there.
Okay.
That is not new.
So I didn't know if that was like a hint that was toggled on versus off.
No, always done that. Oh, we hit the rock. How could you do that to Dwayne? He's just sitting here. You wish to join your friend? I can show you how to do that. Bow skill 40.
Yay.
Yippee. And bonus deer.
Nice. You just went poofy.
Yeah. Sorry, dear. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Kind of just caught a stray there. Alright, let's get some stamina back. There we go. See him flying around over there. Got him.
Nice. And are you using the Death Skeeto needles?
Yes, I am.
Arrows? So it used his brother to kill him.
I guess.
Yep. And a berry zone.
Indeed, a berry zone.
It's like, yeah, you were looking for Dwayne. Here he is.
Oh, hi.
Dwayne.
Hey!
Yep.
He destroyed one!
He destroyed a cloudberry?
He destroyed a cloudberry.
It looks like he's trying to attack your wisp.
It does kind of look like that, doesn't it? It's cute. No, they always kind of circle you first.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of like the boars do that too. Well, the boars run away and then come back. They don't necessarily circle you. They do like bombing runs. I kind of need to make a marker first before I can make a note. I think the caffeine is wearing off.
Yep, I'm starting to feel it now.
Yeah, well, we've got about 45 minutes. Just make it 45 minutes and then it's bedtime.
For you, maybe.
The long-awaited
can't-
goal.
I can't lay down that. Well, I can, but then I'll be up at a weird time in the middle of the night. Won't be able to sleep.
Oh,
It just turns into a. If I go to bed too early, it messes everything up. Because then I can't stay asleep. But I will partake of the replacement ginger beer that I got tonight. Still not my preferred one, but it's the one that I can find on a fairly consistent basis now. So I'll just have to make do. Since my previous source, that's the word I was looking for, is no longer available.
We get an F.
That is a distinctive F.
Indeed, a shame. Oh, there we go. Got it. Am I out of... Yes, I am out of bean juice.
Of the latte?
Yeah. Well, that's okay. If I probably won't stay up for too much longer after stream. I might do a couple things, but like I said, it will be very close to bedtime by the time, like, after stream ends.
Yeah, and again, very weird in that you're looking at going to bed, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Well, special circumstance, I stayed up quite a long time.
Yeah, you did. Which I've done that several times very recently, so. It is what it is.
It be what it be. Ouch. I feel like I've kind of lost the plot a little bit.
I thought you were putting your supplies away.
that's what I'm doing, but now I'm kind of drawing a blank on what to do next. I mean, I know I'm exploring. That's really all I have to do is explore. But my brain, for some reason, entered a query of where specifically are we going next, and the answer was, I don't know, man. I will say I was really cold when I got down here, and I'm okay now. Valheim does wonders for the heating in this room.
Actually, it does.
I know it does. I was kind of I wasn't being facetious.
Between your computer and my computer and our bodies, there's a lot of heat generated in the room.
It's just not immediately apparent, especially once like you get down, you get here, and then like you're settling in. It's like, man, it's freaking cold.
Yep. Initially, yeah, it can be that way.
So I was a little chilled when I started streaming. Now I'm okay. I'm actually like a little warm. I have a hoodie on. I might take it off. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, I should have looked.
I flinched when I should have scurried. Alright. Cresting this big honking hill. What can we see? Fueling camp? Have I been there? I have not.
Ew.
What a surprise. It's looking dark though.
Like it's one you've already cleared.
This doesn't make sense. Unless there is a tar pit right there. Maybe they've been battling them. That would make sense. I'll just mark my entry point here. Oh, hi. Yeah, they're here. Oh, I don't have my fire resistance. There we go.
Cuba.
Cuba, hey, watch your mouth.
No, there it is.
That's a 2-star. Okay. That all? No big fellas?
Nope, I only drank half.
Ah, they didn't even have a bonfire. Kind of surprised. So let me mark this real quick.
Yeah, so that's not really a camp. It's more of a pit stop.
Kinda, yeah. Guess I might as well take these guys on.
Oh, and if you still had your, you had a flaming one, didn't you, for a while? Arrow,
Yeah.
arrow. Because I remember you shooting them with fire and being like, "Yeah, burn, burn."
I don't know if I necessarily said that, but this is why I don't like fighting these guys. They are weak to spirit.
I know they deal a lot of knockback. They don't do a lot of damage, but they do a lot of knockback.
Very annoying knockback, yes.
Yes. And there's another one that's fighting that locks across the way.
It looks like they killed him. Good job, Lux. Good job.
Here, take these arrows as
A token of my gratitude.
Okay, so it is still going to do. Does not like that track for whatever reason.
Shit.
You could always drain the pit.
That's what I was thinking I was gonna do.
So I was trying to think, what all did we come across at the, we went to a thrift store we haven't been to. Well, I've been to it several years ago, but nothing recent. And I don't think you had ever been to that particular one before.
I don't think I have, no.
But we got some good stuff there, and I'm trying to remember what you got versus what I got versus what your uncle got when we went. And we talked about it a little bit last stream too, but I was trying to remember what all was acquired.
Jackets for one.
Yeah, we each got a jacket.
You got like a projector, I think you said.
Yep, I got the 8mm projector, which, yeah, I was gonna look up where I can buy some of that.
How are you gonna pick it up? Oh, now I can.
So yeah, Super 8 film is still being made.
Huh. That's useful.
This will look like the reels themselves. $10 to $20 depending on what you want.
I see.
Then the blank media, depending on style. There's 3-pack for $16, and then there's a high def version that's $55. So you get what you pay for. You know, you can get cheap variety stuff, and you can get really expensive stuff. But I'm also wondering if that one case of tapes that I got a while back, what size that is.
You're talking about trying to play them?
Yes. Yeah, because I don't have a camera. I have a projector. But the reels themselves, yeah, like here's a Eeby reel for 200 feet. It's $2.25. So it's whatever. It's a blank spool, blank reel.
I was gonna ask, why is it so cheap?
Well, because it's just.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I have some research to do, just to find out. Well, I have to get some of this media, and then I can start doing some testing of the projector that I got. And even if the projector doesn't work, just having the projector itself, it was worth the price that I paid for it. You know, it was not expensive at all. And just being here's a display piece, you know, for the corner shelf, it was worth it just for that, right? So if it works on top of it, woohoo. But yeah, now I have some additional things to try and acquire just to see if it works.
Sounds like it'll be a fun little project for you.
It will be. Yeah, 'cause it looked to be in really, really good condition. But we'll see. But yeah, I wore that that jacket outside today in the weather, and I could definitely tell when I had it on and when I didn't. It was very distinct, very distinct.
I see.
So I'm very happy with that coat.
Yeah, it's a leather jacket, and it's for finding it in a thrift store, it fits really well.
Right. Well, and
It's
of course,
it's like whoever owned it last had like the exact same body type.
Yeah, and you know, there's slight signs of wear and tear, but
Right.
it was a very well maintained.
It was cared for.
Yeah. No, I'm very happy with that coat. Kind of like the one that we got for you. I'm very happy we got that one. And the one that your uncle got, he was
really excited
he
about
was
that.
really happy to you know. So yeah, it was a pretty cool shopping excursion.
Yeah, found some nice things.
Yeah.
That's the joys of going to a thrift store. You never know what you're gonna find.
Yep.
Sometimes you kind of walk out with nothing, and that's okay. But other times, you find really nice things.
You walk out with something.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And sometimes that something wasn't necessarily expensive. Like half the time, the stuff that catches my eye, it's nostalgia stuff. You know, like they had a motorized Hot Wheel set, the largest motorized Hot Wheel set that they make, blah 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 blah, from 5 or 6 years ago, whatever. It's like, okay, great. You know, it's kind of cool to look at, but I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, half the time it's just cool to just see what they have. It's
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
man,
just to see
I
what
forgot about
exists.
this.
Just to see what exists.
And see what kind of things people donate, because sometimes you look at some of the stuff and be like, they accepted this?
Things get a little odd at times. We've had some quote unquote adult products be donated.
I have not been present when that's happened, but I have heard when it's happened. It's very funny.
It's happened a few times. Yeah, I mean, what else do you say to that other than
What can I say except
Yeah, I don't know where to go with this. Yeah, don't donate that stuff. Just throw it away.
yeah, if
Just throw it away,
it's
'cause-
been used and you don't want it anymore, just no one's gonna use pre-used items.
No, that's the kind of stuff that they're not even going to clean it.
It's just straight into the garbage.
Straight into the trash. And I will also say that people that donate that kind of stuff as a way of disposing of it, it's not appreciated. It's just not. And so anything else that you donate may as well just go in the trash, because half the time they'll be like, hey, if they're donating this, I don't want to see what's in the rest of these boxes.
Yeah.
And it just goes in the trash. And if you're using them as a instead of hauling it to the dump yourself, you know,
Yeah, using the thrift store as a dumping ground
you
instead of
figure that out as well.
paying
right?
the fee to go to the dump and
Exactly. And so then they'll stop you in the parking lot if they see you.
yeah.
Because I've seen that as well, where they've stopped people in the parking lot and said, hey, everything else that you brought, stop. You're not, no, you should have gotten a container for the dump. You're not coming here, right?
Yeah.
And then those same people will drive half a block away and just throw it in the ditch and then drive off.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's
They
like,
just want to get rid of it.
yep.
Good times working at a thrift store.
Yep.
The benefit for the most part of shopping there versus working there is, you don't get to see a lot of that stuff. You just get to see the stuff that meets the standard of the store. And so most of the time you can find some pretty good things. And not have to worry about that.
Yep. But, like any other time you're dealing with the public, sometimes you're dealing with the good side of the public, and sometimes you're dealing with the not so good side of the public.
Yeah, some people are less than pleasant.
Uh-huh. So the random disc that I found,
Uh-huh.
there's a part 2.
There's a part 2?
Yeah.
Nice. This is a compilation, right?
Yeah. So basically, as part of my project, digitizing all the music and everything now, my wife made essentially two mixtapes, but they're CDs, and they're of different songs that I don't know where she got them from, because some of these I don't have the CDs for.
Really?
And I don't have a tape of it. I don't have a CD. I don't have a record. But looking at the timestamp as to when the CD was created, stuff like Napster was around. So she may have downloaded some of this stuff off Napster. I don't know. Because a couple of these, like I said, I didn't have a disc for it. So I don't know where she got it. So I'm now looking at 38 tracks that all it says is track number blah. So I have no idea what it is until you start playing it, and then it's oh, I know that song. Okay, that's
This by this person.
Yeah. So that's kind of been my homework for today.
So she never renamed them, huh?
No, because here, you can. What does this say on it?
Yeah, it just
Right?
number one.
It says her name.
Her disc number one.
And then is quarter notes, eighth notes?
That is a
16th note?
eighth note.
Eighth note? Okay. Yeah, so that the musical symbol for eighth notes.
That took me too long to figure that out. That's how you know I'm tired.
Yeah.
I should have been able to been like, that's an eighth note.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's like, yeah, it's so-and-so's disc number such and such. And so I'm like, I don't even know what's on this disc. I need to look. And so now here I am with the second one that just says December 2003 on it. And yet the files are from December of 1994.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was alive for only part of that.
You were alive for the handwritten side, not for the timestamp.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do that math. I don't think have I ever explicitly stated my age? I don't think so. I think someone has asked before, and all I said was, I'm not in school. That's all you gotta know. That's all that's important. Alright, 25 minutes.
Oh, cool. So at the end of that, my timer's up anyway.
25 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes.
You can do it.
We can make it. Well, as long as I'm busy like this, it's fine. But like earlier, when I took the nap.
Or you get me babbling so that there's an actual conversation to be maintained.
Right.
It's much easier to stay awake.
Much easier to stay awake. I had to step away from the computer for a time to help with something, and during that time, it's like I immediately just started wilting, just like just like straight into like falling asleep, just the micro sleeps.
Yep.
And all it took was no longer looking at a computer. It's like, man. Yeah, I can cross that off and then undo that. There we go. Update the map as we go. Very Etrian Odyssey. Have I marked this berry zone? Nope, but I can. You aren't required to stream till the end. No, but I've gotta. I'm making myself do it. It's part of the sleep schedule thing. I don't wanna like set my internal like clock bedtime to a time when I need to be awake and streaming. So I know I don't have to, but just to prevent complications, I'm gonna do it. But it's doable. And honestly, as long as I'm like doing things, as long as I'm doing something, I can stay awake. It's just when the things stop, that's when it gets hard to stay awake. I gotta be doing things. We're over here doing things.
Oh.
Interesting?
Sorry, it's just...
What song is that?
Kylie Minogue, Slow.
Why does that name sound familiar? I don't think I've, well,
It's from 2003, so.
I wouldn't know the title, so.
Yeah, you wouldn't know the title, but you're gonna recognize the tune if I start playing it.
Probably. Maybe, yeah, show me later.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna risk getting content ID'd.
Or, yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah, so I can say it, but
Cannot
play it.
Yeah.
Kind of like, say it, don't spray it.
Say it, don't spray it.
But it's not.
Spraying the song all over the place. I've got 5 left. 4 left. Check it out. 3, 2, 1. Gone. Yippee! Yeah, it's weird. I can feel it in the, like, I can feel it in my eyes that if I stop doing things, I'm gonna get real tired real quick. Kind of a strange feeling. It's almost exhilarating. It's like trying to get as much done as possible before the fatigue really hits. Are we both completely full? Yes, they are. It's time to deliver some bones. You know what? I'll probably grab those too, but in a minute. So that goes here. These go all the way down here. I should probably check on the chickens. It sounds like they might be ready to go. Oh, yes, tar. Yeah, I'm holding it right here. Chickens in the mix. I think you say that every time chickens come up.
I pretty much do.
You say it quite a lot.
I do.
There we go. Running up the stairs. Yep. Yeah. Oh, it started raining. Now he's rocking to the song, and I'm curious now. How dare you? How dare you make me curious? Alright, so now I've got some deliveries to make. Yep. I wonder... Oh, shit!
There we go. That's a song I haven't heard in a long time.
Huh.
There it is. Yep, there you go.
I bet you don't even know what just happened.
Probably got a couple of seekers.
Single seeker.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I hear his friend though.
So this is why I started kind of chair dancing.
I see. I thought I heard friend, but I guess he despawned or something. Flew away. Okay, I got. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take care of these though. You were correct though. It was a seeker. A remnant of the night. That's all. This is supposed to be core wood, right? Yeah, that's core wood. Interesting. Alright. Then, nope, put those away. Cool. Nice. Alright, just like that, it's done. I'm gonna need to make a chest for deer. Yes. Yippee! So I could... I don't know, where do I want to put it? Maybe here? I want to leave this middle section open. guess maybe not all. Maybe here. There we go. Okay, good. No trolls. I was worried for a second. Stretch the back a little bit. Ugh. Boy, I close my eyes for 1 second and brain is like imminent shutdown.
It's like, haha, no. Aww.
Now!
No. But, no. But, no. Aww. Yeah.
You need sleep. I know I need sleep. It's like, you know, when you've got like an old electronic that has a rechargeable battery.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like it gets to the point where it needs to constantly be on the charger or else it can't run anymore. So it's like you unplug it and then it goes imminent shutdown.
And you're like, no.
Plug it back in, plug it back in. This is the load-bearing BlackBerry 3. Or BlackBerry's an old one, like Razor's an old one too. I think Blackberries are still around, right?
Yep.
I think, well, maybe Razors are. I imagine they're, yeah, I don't actually know. I don't need to be talking about things I don't know about. Alright, with those out of the way, we'll get back to exploring. So many rocks for the eventual project. You know, I was thinking about doing that today and then I didn't even do it. I just started exploring.
There's a rock.
I
That's
got a
another one.
rock.
That's referenced a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Say, wait a second. I guess I picked it up. Wait, what? What was that slopping? Oh, I see. That's what that was. Just like, who dares? Huh? Oh, bushes. Just saw the flash of red and went, wait a second. Yeah, it looks like I did. Yeah, alright. Got everything over here. That seems like a good spot.
Interesting. I did not realize this existed only as a single. It was not an official band.
Huh.
It was a song that came from a TV show that shared the name of the quote-unquote band. But it was not an actual band. They did just 3 songs.
Learn something new every day?
That you do.
Fairly certain I'm digging the right way. I am. Good. Okay, cool. So now I just gotta go deeper from here. Boy, that almost turned into a Twice song. Gonna do like a single layer through here, maybe. This is already at like kind of a decent level.
sure.
You wonder sometimes.
I do. I was thinking maybe I should get a fountain pen for doing colors. So I have black and I have blue and I have navy blue. Those are the three colors that I currently have. But you
Right.
can get any color of fountain pen, or of ink for a fountain pen as you do any regular ballpoint pen, right?
Right.
So it was, do I go ahead and get a ballpoint pen for these multicolored inks? It's like, I probably shouldn't.
But a fountain pen.
Yeah, and that was it. Hey, if I'm going to be doing this kind of stuff all the time, then it'd be kind of nice to have color coordinated, blah, blah, blah. And then there's no, you're starting to kind of go off the deep end a little bit there. For me.
Yeah, but purple ink.
I hear you words. But it's easy to get a purple ballpoint pen.
It is.
Um,
Probably cheaper.
and yeah, because you can buy a pack of them, whatever, for fairly cheap. Where if you're looking for specific ballpoint pens for
Guitar.
specific colors and so on and so forth, you're starting off at like at $5 just for the pen itself, and then the ink is extra and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's fair. You make a good point.
It's a little more expensive to do it that way, but
Here it comes.
just as doable. But I have to switch glasses. Oh no, I can't switch glasses. Oh, and
Oh, there it goes.
Ron is saying you are not required to stream to the end.
I know.
So she is giving you permission.
I know. We're almost there, though. We got 10 minutes.
I know. It's like, but, you kind of get so close, it's like, yeah. Now I'm gonna muscle through it.
Yeah. I think this is the best little slide I've made in a while for guitar.
I think it is as well, because you haven't done that a whole lot.
That's fair. You make a good point. It's gonna need to go lower though. How much lower is it go? A decent lower. Here it goes. It's starting to flow again. Are we at a standstill? We might be. Come on now, you can do it. Stuck in the tar? Yes, you are. Alright, let me get out of this. Alright, yeah, okay, well, carry weight's still really good, okay. Dang it. I don't mind if the stones are stuck in the tar, because I've got a lot of stones, but
You got the stones, man.
I got the stones, man. There we go. That's what I was looking for. inside here. Alright, cool. Well, we managed to clear that one out pretty quickly.
Yay.
10 minutes is also close enough to where it wouldn't really affect your sleep schedule to give or take those 10. This is also true. You make a good point there.
I hear your words.
We're at 5 minutes now. Oh. There's a fella. High and by. And high and by. I accidentally destroyed something. I didn't even see what it was. Oh, sorry, random thing. I think that may have been a little berry bush. F. Alright, well, yeah, we got, that's a decent amount of tar right there. Stack and a half of tar.
Wow.
You're in no man's land now. This is true. This is true.
I'm just gonna. I gotta say it.
Uh-oh.
You just look really tired.
Hard. You know, it had to happen.
It had to happen.
At some
There had
point.
to be a pun in there somewhere.
Yeah, you know, it wouldn't have been a stream without some kind of pun or joke.
Yep.
Should have known.
Yeah, this actually has been a fairly serious, you know, not like depressing or whatever, but not a lot of joking around.
Well, there is a factor in play here.
Yes.
Fatigue does have something to do with it. Alright, let's get to these buggers over here. You know what? How much tar do I have? I've got a decent amount. I could start messing around with some of the decorative stuff. What kind of decorative stuff do we... Man, I would like to be able to make this. No, I'm talking like... Oh, cage floor. Oh! Oh, cool. You could do a see-through walkway if you wanted. It's good to know. Let's see, that's groused, and I don't want that. I want, like, this stuff. Oh, I can't make that. Is that all ashwood? I think so. Yeah, because this is all... Okay. Well, some of this isn't. A lot of this stuff down here is ashwood. Is this whole bottom row ashwood? Yeah, besides that one bit. Yeah. Here's... Oh, yeah, here's what we're looking for. I don't know, would I want to add these anywhere? They're already here, and I know they look nice there. Got darkwood arches, we got all of these. Would it be worth it to, like, decorate with these? Not here. I don't know, maybe like a... Would this be a fun thing to add? No, it kind of looks weird with the... See, but that's not lined up the way I want it to be. It would have to be like that. Okay, hold on. Hold on. We can connect this. Factor, I hardly know her. Ah ha ha! There we go. Now that ties in. Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Hmm? What doesn't?
Yeah. I said, that ties in. I said, it really doesn't.
How dare you? These. I think we thought about putting these in before. Well, this does look nice. Do you see this? Do you see the arch in here?
Okay, yes. It actually does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can actually see the braiding of the... Okay. Yeah, because we had that debate here for the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
But to my recollection, we did not discuss it for the bridge.
No, we were thinking about doing like the plain wood slats, and then said no to that, which,
Yeah.
you know, that's fair.
Well, and at the time, you were under a time pressure of, I want to get this done before it turns night, and, you know, they could potentially raid me again.
Yeah, well, with the advent of the Seekers of the Night, yes, that,
Seekers of the Night.
see, well, yeah, that's what they are. They're seekers of the night. And they're fearsome and scary, and I don't like them. How dare they arrive at my home unannounced?
They're good at that.
They are. They're very good at that. So let me... So we have regular wood here. So if I were to say remove that and replace it with the braided beam, I think that does look nice. Now would it be worth it to be the same here? Because I know these are structural for the building. So what I'm putting in here would just be decorative, kind of sticking out through it. But I think that'd be a good idea, especially if it's consistent throughout. Might be a nice little thing to do. Yeah, I think that looks nice.
You would.
I would. I do. I'm thinking it as we speak.
And I'm not disagreeing with you, actually.
Yeah. Here, and we do this thing, and then we hang on. So that's leaving the regular wood in there. I don't want to do that. Don't want the regular wood. I just want it to be this. Where's the? Oh, come on, you can do it. There we go. Let me put that there. Grab this here. At the proper level. Are you at the proper level? It looks like you are. Okay, good. Could put dark wood beam on the outside of those doors. The look does also change depending on the repair state. This is true. Oh, it's getting dark now. So how much rain a particular segment of beams will be exposed to on a regular basis may be worth considering. This is also true. I think I'm willing to kind of watch it and see how it evolves, and if I don't like it, I can always swap it. But I like how it is now, at least. But we are at the end of stream. So let me go ahead and do my things here. These are my social links. The Discord will take you to my streaming Discord where I post updates or things in general about what I'm doing. You know, if there's going to be, you know, delays, cancellations, that sort of thing. That's the most, you know, that's where you're going to find a lot of that stuff. It is an 18-up server, but the VODs channel is free for all. I will post updates on the community tab as well, so if there are any important updates, those will go there. The Pendiv Preem, you are correct, Ron. It is the Pendiv Preem. I almost spelled donate wrong. And this link is a GoFundMe for a friend of mine who is currently saving up for top surgery. As far as I know, schedule is going to be regular up until, I think, Wednesday of next week.
Yeah, Wednesday is questionable of next week.
But Friday is definitely not.
This Wednesday.
This Wednesday,
this
the 8th.
Friday.
Yep. Then the 10th.
And the following Monday.
And the 13th.
Are
regular.
Unchanged, unaffected.
Yeah.
Okay. Wednesday the 15th is maybe.
And Friday the 17th,
the 17th
no.
is definitely no.
And then that following Monday is questionable?
That following Monday is questionable.
20th.
But then on the 22nd,
that
should
next
be back.
Wednesday, yeah,
Yeah.
should be, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the rest of this week's gonna be fine. Monday will be okay. Wednesday, Friday, Monday, weird, and then from there it'll be fine.
Yep.
Just that little week section.
Well, and you know, things may end up.
We'll see where things go.
things just may end up changing, and we may be broadcasting from a new location.
We'll see.
And we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, a lot of things up in the air right now.
Alright, so let me look. Okay, so Wolf Conservation Center.
Yeah, because apparently
Yeah.
she said it was a 24-hour live stream.
Here they are!
Sleeping with the wolves.
Snow day, watching winter wolves. Yep, they're Eeby right now. I will go ahead and send the raid that way. It is loading up. So they have Red Wolves, Ginger, and MacTire. Ambassadors, Silas and Decay. Mexican Grey Wolves, Trumpet and Lighthawk. And Red Wolves, Jacques and Carolyn. But we're sorry, this live stream is currently offline for the Red Wolves. So we've just got the Red Wolves. Wait, there are two sets of Red Wolves. But one of them is... one of them is awake! Oh, they're looking at the camera!
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Right. Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and send you folks so you can see it. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's stream. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone!
Bye-bye.
Oh, look at that wolf. Oh, so cute.